Okay, there we go. We're live. It's time for our weekly intention discovery. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I had some technical difficulties. I had to reboot my computer. You know how it is. YouTube is fussy sometimes. I should just get used to doing that every week. Anyways, you're here. We are going to be journaling mindfully to discover our intention for the week. But before we get started, let's get a little grounded, get a little bit more in the moment. And first things first, I want you to take off your watch because that's going to be something that we want to make sure our energy is flowing. Put your feet flat on the ground, legs not crossed. And we do that again because we want that energy flowing through us without anything to impede that. All right. So let's take some deep breaths with a little bit of breath work, and we'll get started. All right. So I like to close my eyes so I can focus more on my breath. So let's take a deep breath in. And let's hold it here for just a moment. And release. And let's do that again. And release. And one last time. And hold. And release. Lovely. Okay. So we are going to be discovering our intention for the week, and we're doing that through mindful journaling. So what does that mean? Mindful journaling for me is a form of journaling that I've been doing for at least a couple decades now. I was introduced to it a while ago, and I was skeptical at first, but I wrote a whole book about it a few years ago, which is this one right here, Inner Affirmations. And essentially, we are practicing another form of mindfulness through this type of journaling. And instead of writing with my dominant hand, which is my left hand, this one, I'm journaling with my right hand. Now, again, you say, why would I do that? That sounds crazy. I won't be able to read it. Trust me. Go on the journey with me. And here, I'll show you an example of what that might look like. So here's my journal from today. And you can see, yeah, it looks a little wild. And here is some other journaling from earlier, right? It all looks kind of wacky. Sometimes it gets very loopy when the thoughts are coming out quickly, and sometimes they're very teeny. I like to think of that as different voices inside me, different parts of my inner wisdom communicating through this channel. This is the easiest way that I know how to connect to my intuition and to connect what is true for me and to get to the heart of whatever it is that I'm trying to get to. And essentially, we are bypassing our ego and getting past those shoulda, coulda, wouldas and feeling and writing what is true for us in this moment. Keep in mind, what's true for me today may not be true for me tomorrow, because we grow, we learn, and things change. It's like the layers of an onion. One day I've dealt with one situation in one way, and the next, and I've peeled a layer off of the onion, and the next day something else comes up. I remember at one point, my mentor, Sue Myers, I said to her, I was very frustrated that I was just, why does stuff keep coming up for me? And she said, because you can't deal with it all at once. So it comes to you in the layers. All right. Every week, to get this journaling started here to discover our intention, I select one of the resources that I like to use to prompt my writing, because I don't always know what I want to write about. I don't always know what's the thing that needs to inspire me in the moment. So I have some oracle decks, I have some books, and today, the book that called out to me today was my own book, Inner Affirmation Inspirations. And what popped up for me was Inspiration 322. So close your eyes and just listen to what I'm reading and let come up for you what comes up. I am a living, breathing example of the kind of world I want to live in. You embody the values and principles that you hold dear, and you inspire others to do the same. You lead by example, showing compassion, kindness, and respect to everyone you meet. You stand up for what you believe in and take action to create positive change in the world. You know that the world is not perfect, but you believe that together we can make it a better place. You are committed to making a difference and leaving a positive impact on the world. Your actions and words have the power to inspire others to do the same, and together we can create a world that is more compassionate, just, and equitable. And I find this fascinating that this came up for me. And I also find it interesting that, like, I get this, and everybody who's here and hearing this needs this as well. Because when I'm pulling, just flipping through the book on Monday morning, I'm asking, what is it that we, you and me, need to consider for our writing today? And that said, maybe I've been watching too much news lately. I don't know. I do know that I have been participating more in my local community. I attended a protest yesterday. I have been going down to the Capitol Dome here in Atlanta and being at hearings with our state senators. I haven't said anything, but my presence is there. I've also been sending emails to my representatives and my senators and even the mayor. So I'm doing that because I want my voice to be heard. But at the same time, I also understand that I need to have compassion for the people who don't agree with me. And that's important because that is a part of my value. One of my values is to have compassion and understanding and kindness for people who don't agree with me, because just because they don't agree with me means that they're bad. They're not bad. They just have a different opinion, and that's okay. But that's what came up for me when I was reading. Now, here we are. We're going to journal on this. And your prompt for this is, and I'm going to put it in the chat here too, is how do I live in alignment with my values? How do I live in alignment with my values? Now, what I want you to do, because as I said, we're journaling with our non-dominant hand. So I'm writing with my right hand. What I want you to do first is to write the date. And you can see I've written it here. And you can see it looks kind of crazy because I'm writing it with my non-dominant hand. So it's messy. And then I want you to write the prompt. You can see how I've done that here. And we're using our non-dominant hand to start because we're sending a message to our inner voice that, hey, I'm opening up this channel to receive. And then I want you to just start writing. And you can see here, sometimes they're phrases, sometimes they're single words, sometimes they're longer right here, but there's no wrong. Don't overthink it. This is, we're removing the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and we're just writing. We're letting what comes up for us just come up. So I'm going to play some music, and then we're going to come back and we're going to share. If you have any questions while we're doing that, feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll be glad to answer. Here we go. right. All right. If anybody would like to share what came up for them in the comments, please feel free to put those there. Or if you're watching this afterwards, feel free to share what comes up for you in the comments. But that was part one of our journaling, part one of our discovery of our intention for the week. So I'll share a little bit of what came up for me while I was journaling this morning. The first thing that I wrote was golden rule, which is, of course, right? How do I stay, right, in alignment? Stand up, be heard, consider with empathy and compassion. Feel. So feel what's going on. Like pause and feel. And the last one was listen deeply without judgment. So what I want you to do now is take what you wrote, go and look at what you wrote here. And I want you to find the one thing that you want to hang your hat on for the week. What is the one thing that you want to be very, very considerate about for the week? It is your intention for the week. And then I want you to take that intention and I want you to write it on a little piece of paper. So this is mine. Mine says, listen deeply without judgment. This is my intention for the week. Yours is going to be different because your writing is different. What came up for you during your writing is different. Then take this small but mighty little piece of paper, and I want you to stick it in your pocket, and you're going to carry it around with you for the week. It's going to be there to remind you of this moment and what you wanted to be intentional about for the week. So reach into your pocket. Perhaps you're just going throughout your day and you reach in your pocket and you feel this piece of paper. Maybe you remember what's written on it, maybe you don't. But when you pull it out and you read it and you notice I've written this with my dominant hand so I can actually read it later in the week. You pull it out and you look at it and you go, you pause. And you're back here in this moment, knowing and finding your intention for the week. And you're looking around and you go, what is going on right now in this moment that I need to be intentional about? This is the practice of being mindful, or another practice of being mindful. All right. If you have any questions for me, or you want to share what your intention is for the week, what came up for you for the week, please feel free to put that in the chat. I would love to see it. I'm always happy to see what your intentions are for the week. And I will look forward to seeing you next week. Have a wonderful week.